Fall practices have been postponed. And all bake sales are also canceled. But don't forget to sign up for concussion testing by this Friday. And remember, make good choices.
Welcome to class. Zoom folks, ready to get zoomed.
Yeah, we got a lot to do today, so please turn on your videos.
Everybody get your cameras on. We're ready to learn.
Hello,
Let's go.
NHS. It's 10:54. It is now 48 degrees outside. And I'm watching a cloud going over the sun. But it's a small cloud, so the sun should be shining in about 10 to 13 seconds. Don't forget to check your Aspen for all announcements. And remember, make good choices. Hey, listen up, NHS. It's 11:12. A person is right now entering the building and going up to the sign-up sheet. This is standard protocol, folks. Good work, team. Remember, make good choices.
How are they going to make good choices if they can't hear me? They got to hear me. I know it. They got to be out there. How am I going to get a hold of them? Make good choices. Choices. Everybody, choices. How are they going to make the good choices? Make good choices. Choices. Everybody, choices. How are they going to make it?
Jeez, I'm getting worried about this. We got to do something.
Wait, I have an idea.
Hello, NHS. We are now 252 days into this pandemic, but we're still alive and kicking. We miss you at the school and we can't wait to have you back. We want you back in your classes, back on the field, back in your clubs, back in the halls. But until that time, remember,
Make good choices.
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 And remember, make good choices.
On Wednesday, the United States recorded more than 3,000 COVID-19 deaths, a single-day pandemic record. This new high comes as our country struggles with the uncontrolled spread of the coronavirus. In April, when COVID-19 was hitting the northeastern United States hard, the 7-day average U.S. death toll reached more than 2,000 per day. The Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, and 48 state attorney generals filed an antitrust lawsuit against Facebook on Wednesday, centering anti-competitive allegations around the company's acquisition of Instagram and WhatsApp, asking the court to potentially require they be sold. The lawsuit accused Facebook of having, quote, illegally acquired competitors in a predatory manner. Canada is officially the third country to receive COVID-19 vaccine from Pfizer and BioNTech on Wednesday. Regulator Health Canada announced, quote, Canadians feel confident that the review process was vigorous and that we have a strong monitoring systems in place, end quote. Canada will receive up to 249,000 doses this month, according to the Associated Press. In the United States, Pfizer has applied for an emergency approval from the Food and Drug Administration.
Over the past century, climate change has presented an ever-growing threat to people's health, jobs, and safety on a global scale. As communities around the world find ways to combat this existential problem, one Massachusetts organization is thinking about ways to solve things locally. Cooler Community connects classroom learning to climate solutions across Massachusetts communities. It empowers students to make measurable difference in their communities and see the impact their learning can have in real life. Students learn about topics such as energy, climate, and conservation forums, accumulating in community action fairs. Visitors are then asked to pledge actions, large or small, for the benefit of the earth and their wallet. The impact of those actions is instantly measured and can be viewed by all visitors to the platform's impact page.
We spoke with Urkel Nagel about the importance of working on a local level.
Obviously, in some way, you can say, oh, what we do on a local level is such a small change. On the other hand, without doing the change on the local level, we won't really get to where we need to be in terms of, saving energy and living sustainably. And plus, we won't reap the benefits as much in terms of health and wealth, actually, and living healthier and more beautiful lives. That even though we absolutely need to do a lot of work in policy, federally or even internationally, there is something about working on a local level gives us a sense of integrity. If my life is a real wasteful in terms of energy, or is very inconsiderate regarding the natural world, I won't have the power to convince my representative or the people who really have, the greatest leverage to be authentic and say, you need to do something too. There's this famous saying, all politics is local, and everything starts where we are physically, where our bodies are.
We also spoke with Mary Jane Eustace about how climate change affects all of us on a personal level.
Impacts of climate change are more than just, for example, warmer or colder winters that we see, hotter and drier summers, or extreme storms, or erratic rainfall. It's ultimately about the impact on people. For example, New England has older housing, and it wasn't built for long hot summers. And extreme heat on any particular day and heat waves in general take a toll on the human body, particularly for the elderly, the very young, the medically vulnerable, and for those who work outside, contractors, landscapers, police officers, etc. If they're outside all day in that heat, it does take a toll on them. It used to be that hot days turned into cooler evenings and the body could recover. But we're finding that nights aren't cooling as much, and therefore there's an extended impact on the vulnerable populations. Their bodies don't have an opportunity to recover, and therefore many of them become sick. It may not initially display itself in a way that people can recognize it, but heat exposure can lead to stress on the body, which can then lead to all the things they might be vulnerable to as an older person, as a medically ill person. So, for example, if you have heart problems, it can enhance your vulnerability to the effects of the heart problems.
Thank you so much for watching this week's transcript. Have a great weekend. Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to Hemp Dump. Join us on our journey in exploring COVID-safe sports.
Y'all ready for this?
Biking is an ageless classic that definitely doesn't get old during a pandemic. Being COVID safe while biking is easy, because if you get 6 feet close to someone, you might crash. Masks become beneficial and keep your face warm while you're biking. This makes biking a great way to stay active while still keeping your 6 feet. And in the famous words of Lance Armstrong, if you're worried about falling off the bike, you wouldn't get on.
Fishing is a great outdoor activity that's COVID friendly, and it's great for boaters and non-boaters. Fishing is a great social distancing activity. When you go on a boat, your boats just sit at a different end. It's a great way to connect with nature and get away from these crazy times. Fishing is great for all ages of all people. Go and ask your family today if you can go fishing this weekend.
Bowling is also a great way to stay active during COVID because bowling etiquette mirrors COVID safety rules. In bowling, you're only supposed to use your ball, never share with anyone else. And you're supposed to wait till the last person's done before you approach the line.
Going bowling is also a great way to support local businesses during these troubling times of COVID.
The sign says it all. Good, clean, fun.
Thanks for watching Hemp Dump, and be sure to tune in next week!
Hi everybody, Paul here, music teacher at the high school. Next Thursday night from 7 to 8 p.m. we're hosting our first in a remote concert series featuring the pianist Khalif Neville. Doors will open up at 6:40. You're going to have to fill out the sign up to receive a Zoom link. This poster you'll get in your email, and it's also in the HAMP highlights, some samples of Khalif's playing. Look forward to seeing you there.